Charter Local Edition with your host, Dana Cowley.
Hello, welcome to Charter Local Edition. Today we're in Helena's beautiful state capital. My guest is Representative Daniel Zolnikov. He represents the 45th District in Billings, Montana. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For those who are watching from other parts of our beautiful state, tell us a little bit about the people you represent who elected you.
So I represent a really great district. Obviously they elected me 3 times, so I can't complain.
Gotta love them.
I appreciate them, and it's the west part of the Heights, covers Skyview, the airport, and all the way to Reberg Ranch. So it's a pretty good area. I can't complain.
Do you have a mixed demographic group?
I wouldn't say too much. I mean, the interesting thing about my district is it's got a lot of people who grew up in Billings and a lot of people who moved into Billings from rural areas. So that's the diversity of, you get an urban and rural mentality in that part of the Heights.
You mentioned as we were preparing for our interview that you like to go talk to your people, you do genuinely love them, and you knock on their doors.
Yes.
So when you do that, what are they sharing with you?
So just to touch on that really quick, in the 3 campaigns, I've literally now spent a year of my life between them all added up together, knocking on doors. And that's a lot of time talking to folks. So a lot of them, it's more disappointment within the political system, our inability to reach out. They don't know what we're doing. And then there's basic issue complaints like property taxes, things like that. But a lot of it's outreach. Like, we want to hear more what's going on, and what they think of in politics is negative. So I think it's our job now to do a little bit more positive messaging on what we're accomplishing.
Well, and that's getting more fragmented as the media changes, more social media, different mechanisms. That's a real challenge for your comm team to get your word out about what you're doing too. So what message do you want to share with them today?
So a lot of what we've even passed and worked on this session has been pretty positive. I work on a lot of privacy legislation regarding technology such as cell phones, devices, and emails. And so we're putting standards that the government cannot access your information without warrants. That's really good protections. It allows law enforcement to get the information if they need it, but it protects people to make sure that there's a due process. That's big, and we worked on that together. That passed from both sides. Right? Both sides of the aisle supported it. That's a big win. And
that's something, as you've done all of that hard work knocking on doors, your people told you they wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted folks to stay away, laissez-faire, just let me be, and, the privacy factors into that. A lot of times it feels like you give your life away when you put apps on your phone. And, you want those apps for a variety of reasons, but anything that the state can do on that level when that's more of an international problem?
I know that there are other legislators looking at the whole issue of data ownership and who does it belong to, who doesn't not belong to. Germany, I think, has a great model, but they also have horrible history on government accessing and obtaining all their data and using it to basically influence an entire society the way they wanted in the Eastern Germany era. It was 40 phones could be tapped at a time, and the Stasi controlled the entire country. So they have pretty good standards. I think we could learn from them.
And then this session, anything particular you'd like to do? Your greatest goals for this?
So those 2 privacy bills were really big, but I'm also chairing the Energy and Telecom Committee. So we just pushed out a great E911 infrastructure bill, emergency 911, and there's a large pot of money that is from people's cell phone bills and landline bills that will basically be used to help E911 infrastructure. So when you call your local authorities in an emergency, it will go to the right individuals, and hopefully they'll show up in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
That infrastructure is important.
And I do think Montana expects that kind of service. This is a state that prides itself with taking care of their own and being independent, and having reliable first responder response is just part of the mentality.
That's exactly right. Like, we are elected to take care of who elects us. And this issue isn't exciting, I would say. It's not like a political one that gets all in the papers, but it's really important. And so
it's calling 911, yes.
Exactly.
Because if you're a Montana resident, you don't call over nothing.
Exactly. I can't campaign saying, though, I'm going to make E911 better. Like, that's not as interesting, but people are happy when we do that. And literally, we're elected to take care of our constituents across the state. And that type of legislation is amazing because the money was already there. Everybody had a compromise, and it fixes the state so it's all in the same technology, basically. So one city's not off from another city, so they can communicate better in emergencies. again, no one really seems to, it's not the biggest political issue until you call 911 and you need it to work. And then people are happy when it works.
You mentioned a little bit, you've been through 3 campaign cycles. Most recently, what were your campaign promises and what you hope to deliver to make good on those?
So I don't do promises. I came from a generation who really was not happy with politics. So I say what my goals are, of course, or where my stances are. But I don't say I'm going to get this done or get this done, because really it's impossible to know. You got the House, you got the Senate, you have a very diverse body. So making a promise, I feel, is very inauthentic, and that is what people think of as politicians, is we're very inauthentic human beings who are out there for our own agenda. So I'm not going to lie and say, well, I can get this done, because honestly, I don't know what is possible or what is not possible in this body. One thing I guess one of the big campaign promises I had made is to clearly communicate with my constituents. I mean, I have worked very hard the last few sessions and this one to keep everybody informed. I have a pretty solid Facebook following and Twitter following of thousands of people across the state, and I just try to let them know what we're working on, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, big picture all the time. Because you'd be amazed sometimes. It's like we don't know what you guys are doing.
Well, that's worked very effectively for Donald Trump. He does use the social media. He does use modern communications, and so I think more politicians reaching out to people that are interested in connecting is a good way to go.
I completely agree. I would say there's 2 types of politicians. Ones who don't want you to know what's going on or what they're up to, and then others who want you to know what's going on and what they're up to. So I'm trying to be the second one.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck. Thank you for your time to come and be with us and share this, and good luck to you.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm Dana Cowley. This is our Representative Daniel Zolnikov. He represents District 45 in Billings, and this is Charter Local Edition. Thanks for watching.
Charter Local Edition has been an exclusive presentation of Charter Communications. View all episodes at localeditiononline.com.